Hi, my name is Lily Riley and this is my channel where I talk about everything related to books. In today's video we are going to be talking about It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. It's the sequel to It Ends With Us. If you want to learn more about Colleen Hoover, you'll find all the information in this video, Colleen Hoover. This book is about an ending and a new beginning, and the author takes the story of two people who are connected by their first love and tells how it could go on. And this is how it continues. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover is the sequel to It Ends With Us and belongs to the genre of contemporary romance novels. It is suitable for readers 17 and older. It was published by Simon & Schuster in October 2022. It has 336 pages and that's a reading time of about 5 hours. A comparable book is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This to the bullet points, let's move on to the summary of the story. Lily Bloom is now divorced from her abusive husband Ryle Kincaid, but she still grants him access rights to their shared young daughter Emerson because she still lives in fear of him and is afraid of his temper and what he might do if she does something that doesn't suit him, something like entering into a new relationship or even worse, into a relationship with her first love Atlas Corrigan, who Ryle is particularly jealous of. If nothing else, it was his jealousy of the shadow of that love that led to a breakup and eventually end of their marriage. Ryle still hopes that he could win her back, because for him the whole thing is not closed and therefore he interferes everywhere he can, still trying to have control over Lily. For example, he still has the apartment key and can show up at her house unannounced at any time and invade her privacy. Lily is filled with unease and uncertainty every time she hands Emerson over, thinking she owes him an account for everything she does. Then her path crosses again with that of Atlas, who also lives in Boston, and by now the talented chef has successfully opened 2 restaurants of his own and built a circle of friends. But his love for Lily has never died. The two become closer and their old love reignites. But their relationship is difficult because Ryle still has the power over Lily, which he abuses. Again, he does violence to her and threatens to take away her custody of Emerson, Lily's greatest happiness and everything her life revolves around. Only reluctantly does she begin to break away from Ryle and, with Atlas' support, fights back her right to her own life. Atlas' past also catches up with him. He meets his half-brother Josh, who shares the same fate with him. He too suffers from the horrific experiences of a home filled with psychological and physical violence. Atlas does everything he can to help Josh and tries to free him from this vicious circle of abuse and neglect with a lot of understanding and sensitivity. Will he succeed? Will the love between Lily and Atlas withstand the hurdles? These are the questions that I leave open here. Let's go to my impression. I love that in this book we learn more about Atlas and his story in his own narrative voice. So in this book we don't just go from Lily's point of view, but we go into a dual narration, each alternately spoken from the first person perspective, which brings dynamism to the story. We pick up the story virtually seamlessly at the end of the previous volume, so there's no big break. However, this requires that you have read the first volume, otherwise you have more trouble understanding the connections and the story stutters a bit, although the author makes an effort to connect to the previous volume through the diary entries. The story moves along in a fluid, easy to understand narration, yet we learn more of their shared past through the flashbacks and specifically delve into Atlas' backstory through the appearance of Atlas' half-brother Josh, which slowed the narrative pace a bit in my opinion, and for this reason I find that the tension has slowed down compared to the previous volume. Nevertheless, the delicate topic of abuse continues throughout the book, and we see how fates can break free from a bad past and develop into a strong present and future. I also like that in this volume it is Atlas who helps Lily out of a difficult life situation, which creates a balance to the first volume It Ends With Us, where it was Lily who saved Atlas. Other characters and storylines pop up, giving the reader a refreshing change of pace. Old characters continue to be present, such as Lily's best friend Alyssa, Ryle's sister, and her husband Marshall, Ryle's best friend. As in the previous volume, it bothers me that the character Alyssa lacks depth here as well, which is why she seems a bit bland to me. She is adorable and fully supports Lily, which is absolutely important for her, but she doesn't really take a stand on her brother's violent behavior. I would have liked to see more. I also find it a pity that her husband Marshall does not distance himself more concretely from Ryle on the grounds that he is just his best friend. I find Atlas the most multifaceted character of this volume, understanding, empathetic, tender and helpful, yet he has rough edges that he can use very well when he needs to. Very likable as is Lily. Both characters have grown very close to my heart. Lily goes through a greater development in this volume. I think she breaks away from Ryle, stands up to him and confronts him more consistently in this book. The book is well rounded with a nice and conciliatory ending. Here I have also come to the end with my impression, so now let's go to the conclusion. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover is the emotional sequel to It Ends With Us. It continues to address the issue of domestic violence, which gives this beautiful love story the depth it needs and blends the serious side of reality with fiction. As before, the main characters are portrayed very believably and sympathetically with all their strength and weaknesses. New themes such as parenthood, responsibility and second chances are integrated into the story, but I still find this volume weaker than the first because, in my opinion, it lost some of its momentum. I think it rehashes a lot of things from the first volume, so if it stood on its own, the story, not the theme, would lose strength. It's a good book, but not a must-read. Still, I recommend this book to anyone who has read the first volume. Is domestic violence a topic you want to read about? If so, let me know with a heart emoji. If you are in an abusive relationship, please leave, go and get some help. There are always people out there who can help you. Don't stay. You deserve just the best and you are worth it and you owe it to yourself. Yeah, with that I'm at the end of this video again. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video or other bookish content, hit that subscribe button and leave me a like. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Hope to see you soon.